Hey everybody, welcome to the Adventure Archive. Let me know if any kind of music sounds weird or my mic sounds weird. It's a new setup in OBS anyway. But tonight we are going to play the quick start rules as well as the starting adventure of Conan, the Hyborian Age from Monolith Board Games. So I have never purchased a game from them. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. We have also never played this game. So I've read the rules. I think Joey's read the rules. I think Matt's read the rules. So they're going to help me. And if you'd like to help me, go grab the PDF on their website right now. Just so you guys know, hey, Jacob, what's going on? Glad you could join us tonight. The way this is going to work is we're going to introduce the characters, who they're playing, as well as give just kind of a really rough overview of the rule set. But I think we're going to dig into that more so when we actually start playing the game in more detail. Which means it's probably going to be a little bit slower as we do checks, as we run combat, etc., because this is a new game for all of us. So before I begin, got to thank the mighty Noel who wrote the Crowman actually soundtrack. You can check out the link down below. It's basically the Conan the Barbarian soundtrack, but kind of like, I don't want to say remixed, but re-envisioned in a synth style. So it's so perfect for this. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for joining us in the future if you're watching the VOD. Don't forget, like the stream or like the VOD so we can, climb the algorithm. So, Conan the Hyborian Age. Do you guys want to introduce characters first? I guess we could do that. Who wants to start? I know Jessica doesn't want to. So either Joey or Matt. And I'll bring up your
go ahead and go, Matt. I gotta read it real quick.
Yeah. So the character that I'm playing, his name is Davor. And he is let me bring up my notes real quick. He is from the blood of Jebel Sag. And so he kind of is a priest or a worshiper of Jebel Sag, who's the Lord of Beasts. So he's a super old guy, long, tangled, white beard. His eyes are kind of clouded over, and he's like just covered in leathers and furs, and has like different bones and trinkets and all kinds of things hanging from him, all kinds of pouches. And he walks with a little bit of a hunch. He's a little slower and has a staff that is also kind of covered with like carvings and different types of different things hanging from it. Just a mishmash of all different things. And he has secrets, and I'm excited to see what they are.
Cool. I guess let us know in the chat if you want us to take a peek at his character sheet, or maybe we'll just talk about that when we get into the rule set. And there'll be more surprises there. Okay, cool. So that is Davor, played by Matt, and I guess we'll move on to Joey.
All right, I'm playing Hansi tonight. He is what's his background called? From the streets.
Yeah.
So he likes to collect small, round, shiny things and throw sharp, pointy things. He's just a thief. Like, that's all. Like, when I was reading his background, it's like he likes to steal, he likes to kill, and he likes to go from city to city to keep trying to do that, rinse and repeat, but he's getting bored of it. And so he's thinking maybe he needs to work with others, try to play nice so that he can score big. He's tired of just doing petty thievery. So that's what he's all about. And he worships Bel, which is the god of thieves in the Conan universe.
Oh. Nice. I didn't even realize that. I need to brush up on my Conan lore.
I've been listening to Conan lore like crazy.
Oh, nice.
I remember like 2% of it because there's a lot.
Cool. All right. Well, that is Hansi, played by Joey. So moving on to Jessica. Why don't you tell us about Gudrun?
Yep. Spoiler, I'm playing. Oh, are you calling her Gudrun? I
Oh,
was
how is it?
Gudrun.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Gudrun from the
Gudrun.
soul.
I feel like there's a Nordic spin, so I did my I guess. I don't know.
Gudrun.
But it's up to you.
Yeah. I've been saying Gundren in my mind, so I think I'll stick with that. Gundren from the north. And she has the nickname of Fox, which is coincidental since my character in Dragonbane's nickname is Forest Fox. She's a bit of a handful with her hatchet and her throwing axe. She's fast, vengeful, and happy to demonstrate how small can also be mighty.
Okay. Nice.
That's really cool that her nickname is Fox.
I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that until like 5 minutes ago when I read.
Yeah. There's also I don't know, maybe Ducky, he couldn't make it tonight, but if I'm guessing this is going to take a couple sessions, so maybe he'll be here next week. So he has a character, of course, picked out already. And by the way, I know I mentioned this is the Quick Start rule set, Quick Start adventure that comes with it. It's absolutely free. Go look it up. You can find it and download it, play it yourself. There's I believe 5 total pre-gens included. So we don't know how to make characters yet, and there's more advanced rules in the final rule set, but that has yet to be released. I believe also you can actually go do a late backer thing, late pledges on the Kickstarter. It just ended a couple weeks ago, I think. I just actually, I missed it too. I backed it because I wanted to get in. After I read the Quick Start, I was like, man, I want to check this out because it comes with a rule book. It comes with 2 additional books. One of those books is a full adventure set with almost like a campaign. I think there's like 5 adventures that are linked. And then the second one is a collection of maybe like 10 adventures that aren't linked but can be. So ton of content. Go check them out. This is not sponsored, by the way. We're just having a good time. They don't know anything about this. So, and so any faults I make, or any mistakes I make are my fault. Have nothing to do with Monolith Board Games. So I think before we begin the actual adventure, maybe we should talk through just briefly, extremely briefly. We'll talk about rules. So I think really right here, you guys can see it on stream if you're watching with us. Hopefully I can fit this in the window so it's legible enough for you guys. So this is, as you know, every RPG has sort of a way you play it, right? What are the characters up to? Why are they here? How do they feel about the world and each other? If you're not familiar with Conan, The Sword and Sorcery by Robert E. Howard, this kind of sums it up. So, number 1, adventure. Above all, this game is about fast and frenetic adventure, emulating the exhilarating momentum of Howard's stories. Big risk versus big reward. Fortune favors the bold, they say, and gameplay is designed to encourage risk-taking dramatic action and immediate rewards in the form of golden glory. So really, in a lot of RPGs, it's heroic sometimes, or maybe sometimes you're scoundrels, or knaves even. There's a game called Knave or whatever it is. In this game, it's all about, I was going to say the booty, but it is. It's all about the adventure. It's about uncovering mysteries. It's about glory, right? So the player characters are all about, they're not hesitant to jump into the fray, to risk, again, big risk versus big reward. They're willing to risk everything for an amazing, find, whatever it might be, riches or knowledge or something like that. So Sword and Sorcery, this game is first and foremost a sword and sorcery game, that unique flavor of heroic fantasy. So again, the players are heroic. They are larger than life. They're not invincible though. So this, we haven't run, like I said, we haven't run the game whatsoever. I'm not sure how brutal it is, but we're going to find out. The adventures should revolve around opportunities for dazzling swordplay, often directed at diabolical magic. So one thing to note about the world of Conan is that the magic, while it's there, it's mysterious. It's powerful. It's not like a profession like in Dungeons and Dragons or something where you just, oh, I'm a sorcerer. I have like a massive list of spells. I can just cast them at will. Magic here has a penalty, big time. So granted, Davor is the only one who's going to be a magic user in this. And I think you only have like one spell, right? Or two spells, something like that. Two, yeah. So it's kind of minor. Granted, I'm not sure what the final rules are yet. So we'll see what that is. But my gut is telling me that if you are a sorcerer, it's not like your typical sorcerer. Even something like Dragonbane, it's not like that. I mean, it's probably going to be dangerous and risky and require a lot of energy. I think it's called stamina points in this, though, to craft these spells. And then finally, forward momentum. Story should never falter while characters don't know what to do, and even a loss is more of a temporary setback, opening new avenues for advancement. So, yeah, we're always pushing forward. There should never be a moment, and that's partially, of course, up to me, or my responsibility is to make sure we're constantly driving forward, right? It's an action-oriented game. So stats, it's different. It's not strength, dexterity, constitution, etc., etc. They've been compressed into only 4 stats. And I'll scale this down so you guys can see. So we have might. Clearly it's strength, basically. It's your melee attacks, inflicting damage, etc., etc. Swimming, lifting, climbing. Edge is basically dexterity, physical sharpness, deftness, intuition, alertness. So it's kind of, you can see how all of that is, whereas other games might have like a wisdom or something, this is kind of lumped into that. So hand-eye coordination. So it's not just physical dexterity, it's intuition, alertness, and so on and so forth. And it's for thrown or ranged weapons. That is outside of just normal checks. And then next, the last 2 are so grit. So this is a measure of a character's pain tolerance, stamina, constitution. So, you know, more familiar constitution, resistance to poison. So all of those things have been lumped up. It's also used to determine a character's total life points. Life points in this game are basically your hit points, and stamina points, which you can do additional actions by spending the pool of those points, which I'm sure we'll get into. And finally, we have wits, which measures the character's eloquence of speech, rhetoric, ability to decipher languages, symbols, knowledge base. So it's like charisma and intelligence kind of all lumped into one, because it's used by sorcerers to decipher magical languages, in some cases enhance the effectiveness of spells. So those are the stats. Checks are pretty standard. So you roll. Actually, let me show you guys the character sheet really quick before we start. I'll use Gudrun. Let me make sure I can view this here. Why can't I view it? Maybe I got to do it over here. Okay, here we go. So I know this might be too small to see, but so you can see her stats are up here. You have might, edge, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So the way it works is you have a value. So her value, for example, in might is a 5, but then she has a die of a d6. And I believe as you progress, those dies change. Everybody at the beginning all has a d6. And the way it works is if I say, she's like, hey, I want to, you know, knock this door down. I'm like, okay, give me a might check. And I will assign a difficulty rating based on that. And then she rolls a d6, adds 5 to it. And then if that meets or exceeds whatever this difficulty rating I create is, she you know, knocks the door down. Also, there's another really cool thing about this, and it's called Flex Dice, which is, before we do that, I'll briefly talk about the rule of 3s. So in this game, you guys may be familiar with advantage and disadvantage. The way it works in this game, it's a +3 to a -3. And so depending on, and this is really crucial for the players to know because I'm probably not going to know of every little detail, meaning like if you guys have a tool or you want to put yourselves in a situation that's going to be an advantage, let me know, like kind of, you know, narrate what's going on, or, you know, you ask questions, of course. So rather than, doing advantage where you're rolling 2 dice, I might say, okay, well, you're hidden, right? You're hidden behind this large boulder and it's dark. I'm going to give you a +2 to avoid being detected. Or in the contrast of that, it could be a -2. Maybe you're out in the open and you're trying to hide. I might give you a -2 because there's no cover. So that's how that works. With checks, it also works in combat. So yeah, there's also rolling a 1, which is called the Winds of Fate. So as we all know, in most RPGs, there's like a critical success or a critical failure. In this one, if you roll a 1 on your stat die as part of a check or an attack, that roll is immediately failed, even if the result of their stat +1 would usually meet a difficulty of the roll. So regardless, it's an automatic failure. But a character can use stamina points to increase the roll of a 1 to a 2 or more to trigger a success with a flex die. So, or trigger the success flex die. I forgot to mention that. So flex die, really cool. Everybody has it. And the way it works is every time you roll something, every single time you roll, with the exception of initiative, I believe, I think it's every other time, you roll an additional die, which is called a flex die. And if you hit the maximum value, so let's say it's a D10. I think everybody starts at D10 actually. So if you roll a 10, you get to spend, you get to choose one of these things. So stamina, when a character scores flex as part of any roll, they may immediately gain 1 stamina point. So stamina point, remember, is a currency where you can do other additional combat maneuvers or something like that. And then success, when a character scores a flex as part of any check or attack that fails, the attack is instead automatically passed. So that overrules the rolling a natural 1. So you can use this if you roll a successful flex. Massive damage, obviously in combat, when a character scores flex, part of a damage roll, they may choose to inflict massive damage. And that is total of the damage roll is normal, but also add the total of the maximum result to the weapon's allotted damage die could roll. So if the sword is like a D10, you automatically just get the max D10. So it's not like 2 rolls. But yeah, if the weapon has static damage value, then just double that damage instead. So I think that's kind of it. I guess I'll briefly mention, so there's contests also, which are kind of like opposed rolls, where if 2 people are actively, opposing each other in some way, it's a contest. And really all that is it's a stat die, whatever it might be. Whoever gets the highest roll wins. There's some other stuff. There's ties and failures and stuff in that, but we can talk about that when we get into it. The last thing I guess I'll talk about is, I'll just talk about range. So range is interesting. So this is a game based on zones. And there's a lot of zones you can see right here, where there's touch range, close range, medium range, long range, distance. And this really, there's a graphic in the book that will kind of demonstrate what this looks like. So imagine the characters at the middle where the X is, and these all represent zones. So this immediate one is touch, the next one is close, and it radiates outward. And so in combat, it's not like, it's not like, oh, I'm within the square right next to this person. It's like, oh, are you in touch distance? Where are you? So it's kind of like hand wavy a little bit, which is cool, versus tracking movement and so on and so forth. And I think that's all. This is armor soak as well. So when you attack somebody, you got to hit their armor or it's their God, what's it called? It's their, where is it? Defense. So they have a defense value, which is kind of like an armor class, but then there's armor soak on top of that. So it's kind of armor class based plus damage soak. So life and death, I won't get into that yet. We'll just discover it as we go. And oh yeah, stamina points. I guess I'll briefly talk about that because I've been mentioning it quite a bit. So you can spend these. All the characters have these, and I think they refresh at the end of a tale, which is called, an adventure. But you can see right here how they can spend. This is just kind of a list where they can do different things like, adding a +1, increase the damage, take another, make an additional move. That's another interesting thing about this game too, is that there's, when it comes to combat, it's kind of like point based. So everybody has 2 actions per combat. And so you can see here, like moving is 1, manipulating is 1, attacking is 1. So you can move and attack, right? And there's some abilities, I believe Hansi might have something where he can actually use an additional point of action in a combat. So he'll have up to 3. So you can kind of see how, it's the action economy anyway. Sometimes a spell costs 2, but focused attack, which is pretty cool, where you can't move because you're using both your action points, but it's a +2. It's with a +2 modifier. So it's as if you're aiming your sword or whatever, or your bow. But anyway, that's the quick overview of everything. Anything I didn't bring up that chat has a question about, or the players have a question about, let me know, and then we can just get into it. Unless everybody's good. Yeah,
I'm good.
All right. Okay. So, thus begins the Seal of Acheron, the first adventure. I don't know if it comes with a main book or not. I got to bring a token in here. Let me make sure all you guys have your tokens in here. Gudrun, Hansi, and Devor. Okay. So
I like how vague this game is so far. Like in my equipment, I have a pouch of stolen gold coins. Doesn't tell me how many.
Yeah, I should mention that as well. So what's interesting in this game is it doesn't track items and coins like that. It's just like, you find some stuff that's worth maybe like, lodging and a meal for the evening. And so it's kind of just, it's a little abstracted. So rather than counting how many gold coins you have or how many little items you have, it's kind of an abstraction. So again, quick start rules. So I'm not quite sure what the full rule set's going to be in that regard, but we'll see. But yeah, we're definitely not tracking little items like that, which is kind of cool because it's more about the focus on the narrative and than it is about trying to track every little thing. All right, so let us begin, everybody. So all 3 of you guys have known each other for a long time. You've been traveling for I don't know, it's up to you. Many months, many days, many years. But you guys are currently in Zamora, which is a region of the world where it's like a wasteland. It's very deserty. It's very dry. And if you've made your way to rest, to find sustenance, perhaps a drink or two and a rumor or two, to the Brazen Buzzard. And this is where you are right now. So you're on the Brazen Buzzard. And it is thick with purpled smoke. At this late hour, most patrons slump in their chairs or squat in the alley outside, emptying their guts. There's a few snickering rogues toss dice in a corner. But after long days battling on the border, most of these sellswords arrived weary, spent all their earnings, and now barely cling to consciousness. But there is someone you recognize right here in the foreground. He's turning, looking at you with a look of recognition. And he is chewing at this, he's licking his lips, chewing at this joint of beef, basically. He's tearing the flesh from it. And his eyes light up. And he says, "Hey, welcome back." So you guys know this person as Radan. And he is kind of a brothers in arms. So you've gone on some missions with him. You've heard about him. You've done some runs with him. And he's always been, more or less accountable and trustworthy. But he says, "I've been meaning to propose you all something. Something that might prove more lucrative than sword selling. What say you? Fancy risking your hide for more than you could spend on a prince's ransom?" And so he's leaning forward. Come over here. Join me. Let me tell you more. And he kind of scoots aside. He kicks over some overturned. They look more like stumps for wood chopping than anything else. But they will serve as seats. And there are 3.
Oh man, I'm heavy role playing already because I'm sitting in the most uncomfortable chair I have.
There you go.
So Hansi, he plops down onto one of these hard wooden stumps.
Okay.
And is fidgeting, much how like I am.
Okay, he says, Hansi, there's no reason to be nervous. It's just me, Radon, your buddy. How you been?
I'm fine. I'm not fidgeting. This is uncomfortable. I need a drink.
Oh, I can help. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and somebody comes over with a drink for you and slams it down. It sloshes out of the mug, and there's some little floaty bits you can see in the dim light, but it smells all right, or it doesn't smell foul, I should say.
That's the best I can hope for.
It's the best you could hope for. It's free. It's a free drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Davor kind of walks over, limps over, and he takes a look at the stump, and he says, that looks a little bit too hard for me. And he pulls out like a wad of cloth, and he like sets it on the stump and then lowers himself on it, and you can hear like his bones and his joints creaking in his legs as he like settles down. Yes, much better. Yes, a drink for me as well.
Oh, of course. Good to see you, Davor. I'm glad to see you're still on the fight despite your age.
Always. I'm not as old as you might think.
Ah, that's what they all say. Gudrun. Come on over. Join us. Have a drink.
All right, Gudrun's going to take her hat. Oh, she has her hatchet in her hand. She's gonna walk over. She's gonna nail the hatchet into the chair, like on the side, and then I'm gonna sit next to it and just go, ale.
All right. He leans forward and he kind of licks his lips. Oh, Gudrun, you've always had quite the bite. Anyway, I have some news for you. We've known each other for some time. I'm sure you can. Granted, I would love to do this myself, but you see, I've been injured. Took an arrow to the leg just yesterday. I'm just I've been on this seat all day. Can barely stand as it is. But there is some place that might have some riches for you. All I ask is that I get, a little cut of what you find for this information. What do you say? Sound like a deal?
We might need more information first, as he picks the chunks out of his beer and sets them on the table.
Yeah, just how perilous is this place?
I don't quite know. That's just it. I haven't been there. A man, his dying breath, told me of this place. And I have every reason to trust he's giving me the truth. Because like I said, I would go myself. But alas, here I am. And he kind of smacks his leg. Anyway, it is a 2-day journey across the desert. There is a strange ancient ruin. It's a dome, half buried. There's been terrible earthquakes out there. There's massive sandstorms. You know what it's like out here in Zamora. It's very treacherous. But anyway, this dome, I believe the earthquake opened up a chasm, and it seemed to rise from the earth itself. That and the sandstorms, of course, brushing away or blowing away the debris. But at the top of this dome, there is a tiny aperture, a seagull even, I've heard it's rumored to be marked with ancient symbols. So Davor, you may be able to decipher something, or perhaps it's even beyond you. We will, or you will have to see. I don't know what's inside. Gold, jewels, relics, all of the above. But this is what I offer you. This information. Just for a wee bit, a sliver, if you like, of whatever you find. If you agree to this, I will give you a crude map that will lead you there. 2 days' journey, like I said, but again, perilous across the wastes. Wild dogs, bandits, sandstorms, who knows what else. What say you?
Nothing we haven't encountered before. Sandstorms, wild dogs. That's nothing.
I knew I could count on you, Davor.
Always ready for an adventure.
Well, Hansi, Gudrun, you're not going to let this young lad here go across by himself. Surely you are going to join him, aid him. More arms to carry the goods and the treasures, right?
This sounds very dangerous. How many other good friends have you told this about and are hoping one of us makes it back with something?
Hansi, like a dagger to my heart, I am hurt that you would utter such a thing. I just got this information yesterday, right after my injury. So I have told no one. I should probably keep my voice lower as well. So many prying ears about. And he kind of looks around, does one of these kind of...
While Hansi's talking, you can't see what he's carving, but he's been carving something into this table with one of his knives. Very well. I mean, all the treasure I could possibly want is quite the tempting prize.
This might even be your last run, Hansi. No more thievery for you. No more backstabbing, lurking in dark streets. But I don't mean to demean your profession.
Right, no more of that. Would be nice. Would be nice.
Very well. Gudrun, you've been quiet. What say you?
Well, you know I love a good adventure, and gold sounds nice. Little danger. I'm in.
And he doesn't say another word. He does kind of a quiet clap. It kind of starts a little loud, and then he quiets it down once people are looking over. Excellent. And he starts digging in his... He's wearing a lot of coverings, a lot of clothes. It's still warm, even though it's it's the desert out here. It hasn't quite gotten to the cold evening yet. And he's digging around, fishing around, rummaging around all of his furs and his cloaks and stuff like that. And he pulls out this very, very old piece of paper. It's barely holding on to life. And he kind of holds it up. He turns it. He holds it over, to look through the. There's some lamp lights in the distance at the tavern, and he's kind of looking at it. This is it. And he slides it over to you. And like I said, it's very crumpled. There are notes jotted on it in the form of circles. It appears to be maybe this is where the dome is. There's also notations of what look to be cliffs and hillsides, but then a vast swath of just desert. And he spears it to the table with his dirty finger. He says, "Right here. You see, we're right here. Just well, actually, right here, off the edge a bit. Yeah. You 2 days east. You'll see the cliff sides first. Don't be alarmed. They rise ominously high, you might say. And then through the desert you go. And, yeah, I believe the dome is right about here. And he slides it over to, I guess, anybody. He just kind of puts it in between all of you.
I lean over to take a peek at it.
Yeah, you take a peek at it. Like I said, it's very crudely drawn. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There is a compass, where it says northeast, southwest. And you can you think you can orient yourself. You remember where he said you guys are right now in the Brazen Buzzard. So you should have no problem exiting this settlement heading east.
All right, we should plan for this.
May I see this map, please?
I'll slide it over to you.
He holds it up and kind of holds it very close to his face as he's trying to study and pick out, but his half blind eyes are having a hard time. So he's squinting and he says, he turns to the side so he can kind of see Radon from one eye, and he says, now, of course, if we make it out there, we find this dome and we find the treasures that lie within, you will get your cut, of course. But if we travel 2 days through the desert, find these cliffs and find no dome, and then have to trek 2 days back, we'll be a little bit grumpy. Do you have any other assurances that this dome is here? We don't want to make a trip for nothing.
I understand. I wish I had something more than my word and this map, of course, but I assure you that it must be there. I'm the only one who knows. The man who gave me this information is now dead, and he pleaded with me to tell no one. And I know what you're saying. I'm telling you, but we're all together in this. We're all one. Because again, I can't do it on my own. I need you.
Probably the sweetest thing I've ever heard anyone say.
But if I understand if this doesn't seem like a good deal to you, some of my old pals should be swinging through here on the morrow, and they may be up for it. So, but I was thinking of you first. We go way back. We go so far back. We've fought in many battles. We've shared many things, many tall tales. So anyway, if you would like to pass, totally understand.
No, let's not be hasty. And he puts his hand back on the map and kind of holds it. we said we would take your journey. We will seek out this dome. But it would be rude of me to say that not think this entire thing over, all of the possible situations that we might find ourselves in.
Oh, of course. I don't mean you need to leave just yet. I mean, it's night's fallen. Better you leave at first light.
We should try to find some camels or something. Take with us.
Today's walk is quite a journey. Stress on these old bones. I mean, not old. On my legs. My pretty healthy, athletic legs.
Okay.
Thank you, Radan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's been good to see you, my friend.
Yes, very, very. And remember, that my cut, whatever you deem me worthy of, whatever you deem this information worthy of.
Well, we'll see how much we find. We'll make it fair.
Oh, I know you will, Hansi. No matter what they say about you, I know better. Okay, so you guys have accepted the charge. So what would you like to do? Would you like to just fast forward to the morning and start heading east? Or is there anything you wanted to do? I know you guys on your character sheets have items. I guess we can look and see if there's anything else. Unfortunately, I don't have a list of items, but we can improvise if there's certain specific things you guys want that you do not find in your character sheets.
I, of course, would like to try and see if I could procure us some mounts of some kind.
And I'm guessing nobody has any coin, right?
I have coins.
Oh, you do?
They're stolen.
Get that bag.
I don't see the need for it.
What do you have? Equipment, assortment of throwing daggers, set of lockpicks. Oh, pouch of stolen coins. Okay, yeah. So Hansi...
Gold coins, don't sell them short. They're gold.
So Hansi, you're going to try to find some mounts.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. I'll say Radon, he kind of points you in a direction. He kind of looks at you curiously, but then he points you in a direction off to some stalls where there's some camels who are being tended to by an old man. And he hears you walk over, Hansi, unless you're trying to sneak up on him.
I want to look from a distance first,
Mhm.
and I want to see if there's at least one that's saddled with bags.
Yeah, I'll say there's one saddle with bags, sure.
Because really, I at least want one that could be our pack, our beast of burden. That if we do find some good treasures,
Okay.
we have a way to bring them back
Sure.
without having to carry them ourselves.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say there's one like that.
All right, I'll approach this man. Bag
Okay.
of coins in hand.
He looks up. Hi, hello, young man. How can I help you?
Yes. Well, I'm in the market for one of these beasts.
Well, I happen to have just what you're looking for. How much do you have? How many? Just one beast? 2 beasts? 3 beasts? And he kind of looks over around you, and he notices in the distance your companions at the table.
I would like 3. But we'll
3?
see how much coin I can spend.
Oh, 3. Wow, it's my lucky day. That would wipe me out. I would have nothing else to do. I'd just sit all day and count my coins. 3 camels. That's a hefty cost.
I'm going to hold the pouch of coins out.
Oh, okay.
And is this enough? Is this bag heavy enough?
For 3? Can I touch it? Can I
Of
hold it
course.
just for a moment? You can watch. I won't take it, I swear.
You could try to take it, then I'll
any-
have my coins and 3 camels.
I'll
I'll hand it over to him.
Okay, he holds his hand out. He's like weighing. He's like, I would say this could rent 3 camels. Not purchase, rent. I will need them back in a week's time.
That should be doable. Where we're going is 2 days out, 2 days back. It's 3 days of spare time.
Very well, and don't you, young man, think you can trick me and steal these? I have many eyes in the sky. We will track you down.
I would never do such a thing.
Oh, of course, I just, that's something I have to say to everybody. I don't know you from anyone. So, are you taking these camels now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So he takes the coins and he he gets all these camels gathered with their reins and hands them over to you.
I got us some camels.
You didn't tell him where we were going, did you?
Nope, just how long we would be gone. We're renting these beasts.
Hansi, wow, you're so resourceful. It's probably just going to be a one-day journey. Now, maybe less. Good thinking. And I'm sure whatever you find will pay for those camels 10, 20-fold. Who knows? I'm telling you, I can feel it. There's something down there. Something precious.
Well, Radon, we shall see, and we will return.
Okay, so you guys have your camels. Anything else you guys would like to do before you head out? We can just fast forward, heading out into the desert wastes.
Yep, no, I'm just gonna sleep up against my camel tonight.
It doesn't say anything about like water or anything like that.
We'll
Is that
just
something?
we'll
we
just
can
kind
waive
of
that.
yeah. So I know I think some of you might have rations. Maybe not.
That's
But
why I'm
anyway,
bringing the camels.
yeah. I'm not going to track stuff like that for now. We'll wait for
Okay.
the full rule set. So yeah, we'll just say you guys have enough food and water to get there and back without belaboring it. So you guys head off the next morning into, I guess I got to move your tokens over, into the desert. So you guys head out. The air is choked with dust. You remember Radon talking about the sandstorms. These aren't sandstorms, though. These are just remnants of echoes of a sandstorm. But you kind of keep referring to your map, making it your way across. There's nobody in sight whatsoever. And as the sun rises right ahead of you, you know that direction is east, so that is where you are going. So you guys travel all day long. Night begins to fall. And you can kind of see just across these this ravine, it looks like something glimmering in the moonlight as it rises, which I guess I can make a moon. Kind of a moon.
That's cool.
And it's like it does appear to be a dome shape. You can see this moonlight just glinting off the surface. And you know you can make it there. Maybe an hour's ride at most tomorrow.
Well, I'll be damned. Radon wasn't pulling our legs.
He's been trustworthy in the past. I'm happy to see that streak continue.
True.
There's a dome, but who knows what's in it?
Indeed. We must
Well-
see. And we cannot see at night. I wonder if we should continue our travels to the dome right now, or if we should wait until the sun rises.
Time is on our side. I don't see why that's a good idea.
If the dome holds dangers as well, we might want to wait until morning before we face them.
Yeah, where you guys are, there's plenty of outcroppings of rocks rising up on the plain, on the desert plain, to make camp if you'd like.
I say we make camp, but no fire.
Okay. So you guys find a suitable place to hide the camels, hide yourselves behind this this craggy rock, and it has a little bit of a. It looks like there's maybe a abandoned den of some kind, but it's clear. You check it out, but you believe it will provide you guys with some good cover. So you guys all get ready, camp down. I'm guessing you're taking watches throughout the night. Okay. So as the night stretches on, I'll say that Hansi, probably. Why don't you give me a let's do our first roll, shall we? Why don't you give me an edge? Let's see how attuned you are to this environment. Give me an edge roll. So what I need you to do is roll me a D6 and then add 5 to it. And we'll see what you get. Ooh, nice. 10. So yeah, as you're sitting here, Gudrun, Davor, the camels, they're all sound asleep. You're just kind of listening to the night. You hear something. You hear, it almost sounds like like bone, like teeth on bone. And you hear a little bit of growling happening. And it continues. It almost sounds like a scavenger feasting on something.
I'm going to because like I'm awake, but I picture he's, you know, sitting on the ground, leaned against his camel, which he named his camel that he's rented Lala.
I love it. You named the camel already. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, Lala.
And
quick question, real quick.
Yeah.
Should he roll a flex die as well?
Oh,
because
you're
he made a
right.
dice
You're
roll?
right. We forgot.
Okay.
Roll a flex die.
all right,
Thank you. Yeah, always remind me of the rules because I know them probably, if not worse than you guys, because I've only read.
Well, I
it
wasn't
once.
sure if it was part of a combat or if it
No,
was
it's everything. So every time, with the exception of initiative, I believe, you roll a flex die. So good call. Okay, so you rolled a 9, meaning you did not succeed because you got to roll a 10 on that guy. But yeah, you do hear this this gnawing sound with some growling, and you hear kind of the soft footfalls in the sand, just hissing at you a little bit. But it seems kind of distant.
I drop a scorpion that I was chewing on. Hansi likes to eat bugs. And he finds them.
I like it.
And I'm going to slowly stand up and kind of scan around myself, try to get a really good idea of where the sound is coming from.
Okay. So with that success, you rolled a 10. You do immediately spot it. So you in the direction you see, just in the moonlight, barely moving at all. You see the bristling back of something. Could be a wild dog, could be a hyena out here, could be something else. But you see just a silhouette. Could be a pig, could be a wild boar, yeah. But you see this thing, and it's kind of, it seems to be nosing around in the sand. And then you hear like a in the same direction.
Oh shit. I'm going to try to quietly go over to was it Gundren or Gudrun?
Gudrun,
Yeah.
right?
Gundren. I want to wake her up first because she's the scariest.
Okay.
So yeah, Hansi goes over and he uses let me see real quick what I have. Okay, so he's gonna pick up like a stick or something on the ground and poke her with it.
Okay, yeah, you prod her with a stick and she awakes immediately.
She's gonna wake up, pull a hatchet, and slice the stick. And go, oh,
Oh,
what's going on?
I don't even flinch. That's why I wake her up with a stick. I'm used to that now. Um,
actually, for
Gundren,
fun, for fun,
for
because
fun.
because I like this. Gudrun like just jerks awake, swings this hatchet right
Oh
at
no.
the direction. Why don't you roll me a? I'll give you a. Roll me another edge, but I'm gonna give you a +2 to that roll because she's drowsy, her aim is off, her strength is off, her
Oh,
dexterity
you want
is
me to
off.
try to dodge it?
Yeah. I want to
Okay,
see
okay.
if it like if it comes your way because you prodded her and she just reflexively, you
Mhm.
know.
But he did use a stick, so
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
did. He did. Yeah. So you felt like this
So I'm
prodding
gonna
on
have
you.
a +7 to this.
Yeah. So it's going to be a D6
1d6 +5
plus
+2.
5 plus 2. Yeah. So you can do a +7, and don't forget to roll that flex die.
Here comes the flex die.
Flex. Oh, a
Nope.
7. Okay. Unfortunately, that's not it.
What
Okay.
does this
So
mean?
what?
What does this mean?
What does the flex die mean?
What does this all mean? Do I hit him?
No. I wasn't saying you had to roll. I just wanted to see. No, he successfully dodges out of the way. It was a pretty easy dodge. So he rolled
A 10 for the
a
dodge.
10. Yeah, exactly, a 10. So that's plenty. So yeah, you just kind of like, duck back a little bit, and her axe like breezes in front of you,
Well,
and you
chops
can
the
continue.
stick.
Chops the stick. There you go.
Yep. There's some kind of beast very close by, Gundren, and it's eating something or someone. I heard a moan.
Oh,
I don't want it to get Lala.
yeah, that's smart. Should we check it out?
Yes. I'll go get Davor next. And then
Okay.
I'll drop the stick that's been cut, and I'll just go and shake Davor awake.
Okay.
It's not time for my watch yet, and it's the middle of the damned night.
Shh,
What are
old
you?
man, shh. There's a beast nearby.
A beast? What sort of beast?
I'm not 100% sure, but it's eating something or someone close by.
Well, I guess we should probably take a look. Oh, give me a second. Let me get myself sorted. And he kind of like stands up and like stretches, and you can hear just like pop, 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 pop as he's like cracking his bones. And he picks up his staff and he says, "All right, well, I suppose we should proceed with stealth. Point the way."
All right, so Hansi, draws his weapons as well.
Okay, so everybody is going to sneak over in this direction together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I need from all of you guys is an edge check. So just to reiterate, I believe that's a D6 for everybody, and then you add the value on your character sheet. So that would be a 3 for Davor, that would be a 5 for Hansi, and that would be a 4 for Gudrun. So D6 plus 4. Don't forget to roll the old flex die as well, which is a D10. Just in case something awesome happens. Okay, we got an 8 total for Gudrun. We got a 7 for Davor. And she rolled, okay, so no flex die success, no flex die success. And then Hansi. Oh, dang, 6. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, no successes on the flex dice, unfortunately. But you do hear Davor, you do hear like the little creaking and the popping. It almost sounds like ropes on an old pirate ship as you make your way across, creaking. But whatever you guys are heading toward doesn't seem to be doing anything. And like I said, you see the moon is high in the sky. There's the desert winds are blowing across it, and there's a little bit of a silver highlight on this bristling back of. It appears to be like a wild dog. That appears to be what you see right now. And there's only one, but at its base, another form comes into view, and it's dark cloaked, almost wrapped in a dark cloak. And you see it's being kind of dragged a little bit by this wild dog, ever so slowly. And you can see just off to the left, you can see a trail in the sand where this figure appears to have been dragged from. So maybe this, you surmise maybe this wild dog is trying to drag this person to its lair to feast, but you can't quite tell. You do, however, also hear someone trying to resist. It's raspy breath. It's like a death rattle, pretty much. And you hear, get away. Get away from me. And then you can see an arm fling up, and there's a glint of steel in its hand, but then what appears to be a dagger. It's a very short blade. This individual loses its grip on it, and it tumbles into the sand beside him, and he's kind of pawing at it, trying to get it, but it's just out of reach. So what appears to be a wild dog dragging a single individual across the desert to where you don't know.
I want to throw a dagger at it. One of my throwing knives.
So you want to get close enough to throw a dagger? I guess tell me how close you think you're going to get.
Let's see. My dagger, does it say?
Yeah, what's your
medium range?
Medium range. So you're going to get all the way up into medium range?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you make it all the way up into medium range. It doesn't detect you. So yeah, why don't you and you're going to just toss the dagger at the wild dog?
Yep, throwing knife, thrown, medium range, 1d4 damage. So I get that. I assume that's an edge roll, right?
Correct. So
Thrown
we all
dagger.
ranged and thrown is definitely going to be an edge check. So why don't you let me check. So the way it works in this game is I need to see what the physical defense score is. Okay, I got it. It's going to be a 4. So basically all you need to do is roll a 4 or better, which should be incredibly easy for you because you have a 5 anyway, plus 4. Yeah, okay, you succeed. Don't forget to roll your flex die as well. Oh, man.
Getting so close.
So close. Okay. So you throw your dagger. You hear it whistling through the night, across the sand, through the air, and why don't you roll me a damage,
D4.
which is D4. Okay. The interesting thing about enemies in this is that there are what are called minions, and there are what are called like standard enemies. So the minions, there's a threshold level. So if you meet or exceed the threshold level, they immediately die, and you did. So you hit a 4. It's a 4. So it punctures it. The dagger is twirling through the air and lands right in the neck of this thing, and it shrieks out. It starts like thrashing in the sand, kicking up sand, and you see the individual is let go from the jaws of this wild dog, and the dog kind of starts limping away until finally it just collapses in the dirt, and the figure is lying there still.
Yeah. Can we make this scene kind of cool where it's almost like Hansi knew he was going to get that kill, so he was running towards it, threw it, and then kept moving to get up on this person that's on the ground?
Sure.
Yeah.
You do it.
Ninja.
Okay. All right. So you're running toward that area.
Mhm.
And yeah, you kill this wild dog. There's a still. Where are you going to just keep running toward this figure?
Yeah, and immediately check his pockets.
Okay.
See what he has on him.
All right. So you make it there, and
Or
right,
she, I don't know.
yeah, right when you do, another hand comes up to your neck, holding another dagger. He says, "Gotcha." And we are going to enter actual combat. Let's see how it goes.
I feel genuinely tricked.
So let me get some tokens on the map. Let's also get some battle music. All right, so we got and how far back are Hansi? Or not Hansi, but Gudrun and Davor. Is it Davor? Davor? What are we saying?
I'm going with Davor.
Davor, okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably get it wrong, I'm sure, plenty of times.
I think he's probably bringing up the rear. I think possibly looking at Gudrun as like maybe a little bit of a defense. So he's like kind of shielding himself behind her as he's kind of approaching. But he's kind of in the back approaching.
Okay.
Yeah, she was pretty close behind, but then he started running, and she didn't because she has a throwing axe.
Okay, so let me get everybody here. So I got Eivor, and you said Gudrun is kind of behind, but then we're going to have Hansi like right dead center. If you guys want to move your tokens elsewhere, feel free. I'll just say you guys were like tucked back over here somewhere.
Okay.
That's where your camp is. And there is a dead dog right here. And there is a cloaked individual at your feet right here. And also, you guys hear this hiss of sand, Davor and Gudrun to your left and right. And you see two more figures, as if they were buried under the sand, stand up in a battle stance, brandishing steel. So, the first thing we're going to do, let me add everybody to combat. Actually, let me just delete this dog. We don't need the dog in there anymore. So I think for the sake of speed, we'll just do standard initiative in here. So just so everybody listening or watching knows, the Fremen, yeah. The way initiative works here is it's an edge check pretty much. But just to make things easy, we'll just do the D20. And then whoever has the highest will go first. Okay. So the first one to go is going to be this individual here, off to your left, Gudrun. So he actually moves. Let's see. A bandit may take 2 actions per turn, but only 1 maybe. Okay. So he's basically like a normal dude. So he moves forward a little bit. He's just out of range, but he hurls a dagger at you, Gudrun. So what I need to do is I need to roll. This is different. It's not player-facing rolls like I'm used to. So I got to roll me a d6 plus 2. And what is your, Gudrun? I guess I can check. What is your, where is it? Your physical defense is a 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically that's what I have to do. I have to roll a 7 or higher to hit you. And he throws it at you, comes whistling by, but unfortunately, it goes right by your head, and lands in the sand behind you. And you hear him, there! He curses under his breath. And what he does is he kind of moves behind. There's a boulder over here. He heads that way. And next up is Davor. So as you see this dagger land over in this direction, right past Gudrun, what would you like to do?
So I think Davor, as he looks around and he sees all this happening, he kind of like quickly makes a decision, and he's kind of like sneaking behind and is going to reach his hand into one of his pouches and pull out a handful of some sort of substance, some herbs or something that he has, and he's going to like kind of toss them in the wind and kind of make a motion with his hands, and out of that motion he is going to call a wolf.
Oh, I like it.
So he is going to spend 5 life points.
Okay.
So I'll take those.
Oh,
down.
wow. So you're spending your actual health. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Crazy. Brutal.
That
I love
real magic.
Real magic. I love
Sucked
it.
your soul out.
So just so you guys know, I forgot to mention, I added your life points as the first. So if you double click on your token, the first one is your life points. The second one, I believe, is your stamina points. And don't forget about stamina points too. You guys can use those for different things, which if you need a reminder, might as well remind you right now since we're in combat. So stamina points. So yeah, basically if you spend 1, you can make an additional move action. If you use 1, you can increase the value roll of a stat die as well on a check or an attack. You can also pay 2 stamina points to increase. So it's either a +1 or a +2 at most. You can also increase damage, increase the range of a thrown weapon, spend a character's final stamina point. This is the last one for rolling for damage to apply massive damage flex result. So I guess think about that, I guess, as you guys,
Okay.
All right, so you summon this wolf. What is the roll for this? It's just a wits roll, right?
So
Or does it just happen?
it just happens. So it says spend 5 life points, use 2 actions. So both of my actions, I don't move, I don't take an attack or anything, to call the wolf to within medium range, which then acts as a friendly character until it is defeated or the current combat ends, at which point it will flee. The wolf shares the same initiative as the sorcerer. The wolf may take a turn immediately after the sorcerer on the turn it is summoned. So it sounds like I should be able to summon it, and then it can act as the turn at the end of.
I think you might have to make a roll though. I think.
No.
No? I thought for all sorcery you have to, no? Use 2 actions to heal the sorcerer, another target range. I'm just reading your other one to see if Let's read sorcery really quick, just to make sure. Let's see, white magic, casting spells. Using a sorcery skill costs the caster a number of life points or stamina points representing the significant drain, blah, blah, blah. Most spells also require the use of a number of actions during combat. This one is 2, as specified by the spell's rules outside of combat. Okay. When a spell asks for a sorcery attack, that's it. So I guess it's only the attacks maybe?
Yeah, like if you're trying to throw a fireball
Gotcha.
or a snake arrow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Davor doesn't have any of those attacks because it'd be cool to kind of see how that works.
Right,
but
and maybe he will, like a full sorcerer. I might be able to.
Oh yeah.
Find. I don't know how spells are acquired.
Yeah, we don't know
in the
that
full
yet.
game, but yeah, as far as I can tell, it's just if I spend the life, it just happens. I can just create it as well as long as I have the life to be able to do it.
Yeah, looks like you're right. So
I think I
gonna
want to summon him
spruce.
towards this, like right here,
Okay.
towards this one that's a little closer.
Okay. Yeah, you toss up this. How does this look? You toss up this like some kind of herbs and sands and stuff, and like catches the
Yeah.
moonlight, and
It creates like kind of like a mini, like almost like a loose cyclone of these herbs that are
Oh,
kind of
cool.
float, and then the wolf leaps out of nowhere, like out of them,
Awesome.
toward in the direction that I'm summoning it towards. So the wolf gets to act now. I'm done.
Yep.
But the wolf has 2 actions per turn. So it is going to use one of its actions to close a distance on this bandit right here,
Okay.
and then it's going to attempt to bite the bandit.
Okay. This bandit, he kind of recoils as this wolf just materializes in the air, attacking. So why don't you give me a? I guess you're going to do a bite. So. Oh, there's other tactics too. Pack tactics. At least 3 wolves involved in combat. Wow, you can summon that many wolves?
I can just keep summoning wolves.
Holy crap, that's cool.
Yeah.
But draining, it's going to drain the hell out of you.
It will, yeah.
That's awesome.
So what is the attack?
So the attack is going to be, if you double click on the token, let's see. So it'd be might.
Yeah.
So it's a 3, and then you're going to roll a d8 as well.
Oh, I don't have. I can't move the token.
Oh, you know what? Let me give you. Configure ownership. Let's say all players. Observer. Matt is going to be owner. All right, try now. Can you click on it now?
I can. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you said might.
Yeah, it's going to be a might attack as these salivating fangs lash out at this startled bandit.
Okay.
D8
Let's
plus
see.
3.
Yeah.
Wolf's really good.
Yeah.
So I rolled a total of 6.
Okay, 6. That is just enough to bite through the heavy wrappings of this bandit. So why don't you roll me a damage?
Okay. His damage is 1d6 plus 3.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Hey.
Damn. Okay, so the wolf leaps forward just right at the neck. These hands kind of rise up to try to catch the wolf, but miss terribly, and you just see a spray of blood in the moonlight as this bandit drops to the ground, and it's just, the dog's just like doing that, shaking its head as it feasts. So that was easy.
Yep. He does not. There's no edge roll on that, right?
No, that would be for, I think edge rolls are just for, range stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that
then I
bandit
think that is
down.
all that I can do.
Okay. All right, let us move on. So I'll pass up the wolf. We'll go to the next one. Is this bandit right here, right in front of Hansi, the one who said, "Gotcha." And he goes into a crouch and he swings his dagger up at you, or his knife.
My defenses are 7.
7? Okay, so I'm going to roll me a D8 plus 2. Oh, I can just manually do the... Okay, sweet. Plus 2, roll.
Oh, shit.
Okay, he got 10. So he cuts through your defenses. And then my damage is going to be 1d4 plus 2. So he cuts into you with 3 points of damage. Do you have any armor that can block any of that? Or soak any of that? I don't think you do, right?
No, I have no armor.
Okay,
so
so he...
3.
Yeah, he catches you by surprise and slashes you for 3 points of damage.
27.
He's like, all right. Next up is going to be Gudrun. What would you like to do as all of this plays out before you?
I want to throw an axe at the guy closest to me. That's good.
Okay. And your axe is medium range, right? Throwing axe?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
medium range. Awesome. So that's going to be an edge roll. And you need to roll a... I'm going to actually give you... so he's kind of crouched down behind this boulder a little bit. So he has a little bit of cover. So I'm going to give you a -1 to your roll as the... yeah, what's up?
So thrown weapons is might.
Oh, thrown is might. Okay.
Thrown, yeah. If it's a thrown weapon, it's might. I still rolled edge because Hansi has where I can use edge for my thrown weapons as long as they're light.
So then ranged, like then it's like bows and stuff are going to be...
Yeah, bows are edge, and I get to use edge when I throw something.
Gotcha. See, I knew I would get something wrong tonight.
All right.
All right. So Gudrun, why don't you...
So would it be 6 + 5 - 1?
So yours is...
D6?
Yeah. Let's see. Yours is... Where's your token at?
Yep. D6 die plus 5. Minus
Plus
1.
5 and then -1, yeah. And you can use the little dice tray down there to help, so you can just type in like, D6 and then -1, plus 5, whatever. Wow. You guys are rolling great. 5.
Yeah.
Plus 1,
That
so
actually worked,
9.
though.
Don't forget to roll your flex die as well. Yeah, you did 1d6 plus 5 minus 1, so you rolled a 5. Plus 5 is 10, minus 1 is 9, yeah. Oh, you did it. Awesome. Okay, just to remind ourselves, let me go to the chart really quick here. So flex die, actually I'll bring it up so everybody can see it on stream and everything. Rules, flex die. Okay, here's the flex die right here. So, I guess you're going to take massive damage. Well, deal massive damage. So when a character scores a flex part of the damage roll, they may choose to inflict massive damage. So you got to roll your damage as normal first, but then also add the total to the maximum result of the weapon's allotted damage. So the maximum for your thrown, what is it? D6? So you need to roll the damage first. So a D6. And then you're going to... Oh, damn. You rolled a 1?
Yeah.
That's not... so another roll?
No. Well, she doesn't roll again. It's the maximum amount of that damage, so it would be 6. So 7 points total, right?
You also add her might value to the damage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, so I didn't even need to roll? It was just the max? It's 6.
No. You roll once, and then you add the max as well.
Yeah.
So, like...
Oh, so 7.
So you rolled ones, yeah. So 6 plus 7, and then I
Might.
guess we add the might as well, which is 5. So you destroy this guy. He's kind of peeking around the boulder just as your throwing axe goes through the air. You can tell me how you want to destroy him.
I mean, I just nail whatever part's peeking, so probably like
His
half
head.
of the head comes
Yeah.
off.
I mean, it could just like stick him right between the eyes and he collapses, whatever you want to do.
Gnarly.
Also,
All
real
right.
quick with that, with the flex, it looks like, because you would think that because there hasn't been any stamina used, because you can use it to immediately gain 1 stamina point. So it looks like you can go above your max.
Oh, that's right.
If you
You're
want
right.
to. So if
You're right.
you like, although there's no upper limit to how many stamina points a character can have, their available points will reset to whatever the grit stat is at the start of each tail. So we could go higher, but then it'll drop back down once a new tail starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
that
if you want to, Gudrun, if we want to retroactively change that, you'd only roll. You still would have killed him. I'll tell you, it's plenty of damage. His threshold is really low. It's only 3. So if you want to take the stamina bonus because you rolled a success on the flex, if you want to add another stamina point, you can do that.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, there's no... Yeah.
Looking at the table though, it's pretty cool because you have the attack one where you can dump all this damage on there. You have the one that if you fail whatever skill check or whatever, you can you can automatically pass it. But what happens if you're not in combat and you roll a skill check and you pass it? Then what's there left to do? And so that's how you can do it. You can spend that to get that stamina point.
That's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
And there's not like too many to choose from where you're like, I do it in a cool way, like some of them are.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's good. I mean, they really thought through sort of, hey, what if like I'm in none of these other situations? How is it valuable now? Okay, so you can, like I said, Gudrun, if you look at your character sheet, I added in the upper right-hand corner, it says, oh, you did it already, 5 out of 4. Okay, cool.
Wait, so 5 out of 4 I can do, right? Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly. So you're at 5 total right now. Even though your max is technically 4, you can go beyond it. All right, last but not least, Hansi, this guy who is crouched down. He's seeing all of his friends just dropping dead to the ground, and you see fear light up in his eyes. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna stick him with my dagger.
Okay.
So I will roll.
And you use edge for that, right? That's part of your character ability?
Yeah, it's part of my assassin ability. When using a one-handed light or medium melee weapon, apply edge to the melee attack instead of might. Still add might to the damage roll.
Okay. That's the one thing I've been forgetting is adding...
So melee and thrown weapons add might to the damage. Range weapons add nothing.
Oh, okay.
For
Good
added
call.
damage.
Yeah, let me read it just so it's...
Page 20 is where I saw
it's on page 20?
Okay. Yeah. You'll see the little weapon type range damage rules. That little spot.
Type, damage, the amount of damage. Yeah, remember that melee and thrown weapons add a character's might stat to their damage value, but range... that is pretty brutal then.
Yeah.
That can be a lot of damage.
All right, so I'll roll this edge.
Roll the edge.
Plus... Oh, it remembers when I add the 5. Okay. So there's that, and we'll see if I flex.
No
flex. But
no flex.
So
I really hope flex was used because it's Arnold played Conan the Barbarian. I really hope that was a little inside joke, man.
All right,
okay,
so D6 plus 3 because I have 3 might. 5.
Damn. Okay, so yeah, you destroy this guy however you want to do it.
It's brutal. It's like I stab him like 14 times because
Damn. So you're just
I'm
like just jabbing him over and over.
And to steal a great line, when I'm done stabbing into him a lot, nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Meow. Okay, cool. He catches those final words from you before he falls breathless to the ground. Life snuffed from him. Okay. That is the end of combat, everybody. So everything is quieting down back to the night again. You can just hear your heavy breathing. What would you guys like to do as these bodies are lying dead around you?
I'm going to take the dagger he slashed me with. That's my trophy now.
Okay. Yeah, you take his knife from him.
Real quick, is there dual wielding in this game?
I don't know. I don't remember. To me, it seems like that would be like a rule of 3 thing. So if you wanted to do it, I'd give you like a negative probably on that secondary offhand attack. And you'd probably have to use, you'd have to use your 2 action points, I guess.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There might
yeah.
be. I don't know. Maybe in the full rule set, I do know there's like 10 or 11 backgrounds or something like that
Right. Yeah.
with skills and the whole deal. So who knows?
So I think that Davor and his summoned wolf will go over to the body of the dog, the wild dog that was kind of used as a tool for this scheme,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll kind of like kneel down and like next to the dog, and he'll say like a prayer to Jebel Sog, and just say I'm sorry, this was it was used. You were used as a tool, and it was unfair. Continue on to the next life, and hopefully that's a better one for you. And the wolf will sit and kind of it'll howl with the moon silhouetting it.
I love it. I love it.
And then yeah, he will leave the wolf. The wolf will go over and like continue eating this bandit before it runs off.
Okay, yeah, because it vanishes or whatever, right, at the end of the
Yeah.
combat. Okay.
And then
All
he'll
right.
kind of limp back to the cave.
Okay. What about Gudrun? Are you doing anything?
Yeah,
just
she's
heading
gonna go
back.
retrieve her throwing axe and then
Okay.
loot the body.
Yeah, loot the body. So, you, why don't you, are you looting just this one over here? Right?
It depends. Yeah, that she's gonna start there. If she finds some good stuff, she might check the others.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hansi and Gunnar, we loot everything.
So they all have, each of them have knives. They have some really crappy rations. It looks like a couple days worth. They all have a water skin on them as well. But why don't you roll me an edge, Gudrun?
Okay. 10.
So you got a 10. So you find something. You notice this guy, his hand was clenched in a death grip. You kind of pry it open, and you find a coin in his hand that's clutched there. Looks like an ancient coin, has a strange symbol that you've never seen on it. It doesn't look like it's used for currency, at least any currency you've ever seen.
Mm.
What did
But
you
it's-
find, Gundren?
I found a coin. Do either of you know? Well,
Whose
right.
face is on it?
It looks like Abraham Lincoln. No, I'm not sure. Could one
So
of you decipher?
Yeah, you look at this, and it almost looks like these symbols were kind of carved in after the fact. It doesn't look like at the time of manufacturing. It looks like this guy or somebody before him was carving into the metal itself these symbols with a very sharp edge.
Let's take it to Davor. And who has the map?
Dabber, I think.
Yeah, I think Davor probably kept that. He has like so many like little pouches and pockets and
Yeah.
things that he stuck it in one of them.
Well, then we should take it to Davor, let him look at it, and see if any of these etchings are on the map anywhere. Because I find it very strange that these three were coincidentally here. So close.
Yeah.
I think they were here to ambush Radon. But he couldn't make the trip because of his injury. So we'll take this amulet coin thing to Davor. I keep wanting to say our Dragonbane names. It's so hard not to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think once you get to the cave, Davor is in the cave already, and he is healing himself. for the amount of life points that he used to summon the wolf.
Oh.
So he will spend 1 stamina point,
Okay.
and then it's 2 actions to heal. So I could do it in combat.
Sure.
And it says the sorcerer or another target within touch range regains life points equal to the sorcerer's wits die. So my wits die is d6, so it's just 6, right? I don't roll for that.
Yep.
Or do I roll for it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's been really good at specifying.
yeah, I also if it was really bad, like if this will bring me back up to full immediately. I will lose a stamina point, but I'm back at full life points.
Nice.
And I could, if it's lower than that, I have my origin bonus allows me to heal an extra 2.
Oh, cool.
Anytime that I heal, so
Nice.
that could be really good. Like in combat, if somebody's like about to die, I could run over and help them and kind of give them a lot of life points like right away.
That's cool. And I know we didn't talk about recovery yet, but it's kind of interesting. I think you can do it once or twice per session. I can't remember, but it's you recover 50% of whatever your max is.
Yeah.
So it's not like a die roll or anything. So
Okay.
yeah.
I like how for his healing, a sorcerer must be able to lay their hand on the target's bare skin to use the spell on another character.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So I wonder. I mean, I guess that means. I mean that they expressly say that, so that means that there must be points where there's not bare skin to be able to do that at.
Maybe there's like full armor of some kind.
Yeah. One thing I do remember reading in this book, though, is that it's when it was talking about armor, is that people in this world, they often they're not heavily armored.
Right.
It's very similar. They're just they want to be free moving, like barbarian-like. So it's not common for someone to walk around with full plate or something like that in this world.
You know what is common, though?
What?
Finding people who are flayed. You wouldn't be able to heal them because their skin is gone.
There you go.
That's true.
That's got to be why that's in there specifically.
I hope so. I hope one of these adventures has that.
Flayed people on the wheel.
I mean, there's
Flayed
got to be at some
people.
point I'm going to go to try to heal somebody, and they're going to be like, find the skin. Where is it?
Yeah. So you have this coin, and you handed it over to Davor, right, to inspect?
To inspect and to compare, see if the etchings on this coin are any markings that are on the map that Radon gave us.
So you do inspect it closely, and you don't notice anything, but something about this symbol kind of seems like it might be something else to you, Davor. So why don't you roll me a wits check,
Okay.
and let's see what
That
happens.
is a 6+.
So that'd be like a D6 plus 6,
Mm-hmm.
and then don't forget your old
Oh yeah.
flex die. Yow.
Yeah.
Yow.
That's a no, but I rolled a 10 on my wits.
Nice. Okay. So these symbols, definitely carved in after the fact of this coin, very crudely, I might add, but you can read through the crude writing, and it seems to be reminiscent of Stygian. So you can't quite read it, but you can tell the origin appears to be to you Stygian.
Yes. Stygian. Yes, I can feel the markings. He holds it up and is like has his eyes closed because he can't really see in this dark cave anyway.
Yeah.
And so he's like examining it with his fingertips and is like, "Yes, I can see it clearly. What does this mean, though? Why would they be holding this coin?"
Oh, I don't know. Who's Stygian? Do I know who Stygian is?
Yeah, you know Stygian. It's a
Just kidding. I know.
Yeah, it's is it a
Everyone knows.
is it a sect? I'm shaky on my Conan lore.
It's a country.
That's right,
Yeah.
Stygia.
Not great at geography.
You gotta know your geography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recall either, but I would say, oh, it's a land from very far away. You won't find these coins being used in this area at all. It's quite rare here. I would never have expected to find one of these. Wonder why he held this. Very strange.
Indeed.
Who does this belong to? And I will hold it back out. I will give it back to you.
I'll take it. Tuck it away somewhere safe.
All right. So, let's just say, Hansi, you were the last watch, and as you guys are conversing and looking over the map, and you see the first light of dawn coming over the distant hillsides.
Oh yeah, I also took the rations and a crappy dagger, if that's okay.
Sure.
The crappy
take-
rations and the crappy dagger.
Yeah, you can take the crappy rations and the crappy dagger.
I would have also recovered Hansi's dagger that he
Yeah, pretty much.
threw
Yeah.
at the dog.
No, I
Okay, cool.
appreciate that.
And if you guys want to make note, you should be on the character sheets. I think you can. Yeah,
you can
if you go over to items, the items tab, you can like edit, create a new item, and write whatever it is. On these bare bones Foundry character sheets, because there's no system yet, but it'll be cool when there is. I think they unlocked it, if I remember correctly, on the stretch goals.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see if, like, when you make rolls, if it auto rolls the flex die.
Oh,
That
I'm
would be
sure.
kinda neat.
I'm sure it will. Yeah, I bet it will. Yeah, it'll be cool.
Real quick, what city did we start in? Started with a Z.
Well, Zamora. You're in the region of Zamora, and the place you were was the Brazen Buzzard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know where we are. Okay.
Okay. As
And we are a very good distance from Stygia.
there's actually a map in the quick start too,
Is there?
which is pretty cool. Yeah.
See, I didn't explore
Of the
too
lands.
much because the
the adventures at the back, right?
yeah, the adventure. So yeah, real quick to people who are watching this, if you want to do the quick start, be careful because the adventure is it's terrible. I think it's between the rules and then the character sheets.
Yeah.
So be really careful. Don't read too far into it.
Yeah.
So looking at this cave that we're now in as the sun is rising, we can kind of see a little bit better.
Mhm.
Do the camels look like they could fit in the cave, or is it small enough that only like we could?
No,
fit?
it's a smaller den, so they probably couldn't fit,
Okay.
even if they're all crouched there. But yeah.
Well, there's no
I'm
time
gonna
like the
feed-
present, and I'm
oh.
not getting any younger, so we should probably go ahead and set out.
I agree. I'm gonna feed Lala some of those rations that we found because she's
Okay.
hungry.
She enjoys the rations. So, you guys continue onward. You can clearly see the dome shimmering in the haze ahead.
Yeah, I think that I think Davor will be. He's got his eyes on the dome, but he's also kind of wary about other things because clearly the bandits seem to be waiting outside. As you know, the dome was like part of it. It feels like.
Yeah, they're
like,
pretty close to the dome. They're, like I said, it's about an hour-ish maybe ride. You can see this thing in the distance. It's a very it doesn't look like the rest of the landscape, so it's kind of easy to pick out. But
Yeah.
speaking of the bandits, do you guys want to? Are you guys leaving their bodies scattered in the desert, or are you going to do anything with them?
I'm gonna say in the spirit of Conan, I'm not worried about covering my tracks because it just, like we slayed them, and I feel like whatever comes across them is just gonna be fearful of whatever did it,
Yeah,
and it's
trail
us.
of blood behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, like after those sick kills, I have very little fear right now. More cockiness, and I'm gonna be bold.
Okay.
But I
Cool.
do mention to Davor that I have my suspicions. I think maybe Radon killed this man who knew this information to profit. I don't think I don't think he got that map legitimately, if you know what I mean. I think he heard a group of men talking about it, scrappled with them. Maybe that's how he got injured, killed one of them, took the map, and then came straight to us.
Hmm. I hadn't considered this. So yes, it does fit. Uh, Seems like something Radon would do. We shall have to be careful when we approach him after we come back. He may try something sneaky with that on like that with us as well, and we must not let it.
No, he's our good friend. I mean, sure, he'll backstab these guys, but he wouldn't do nothing to us.
Hansi, it always is good to be prepared, even if it doesn't happen, even if it's unlikely. I haven't lived this long by just walking foolhardy into situations without considering the possibilities.
Well, you are wise. You do summon wolves out of the wind.
I
All
agree
right.
with Davor. Can't be trusted.
All right. Let's get in this place.
Okay. So you guys continue onward. It's very uneventful. Something strange happens though as you near. You're always keeping your eye on this dome in the distance, and as the heat of the day starts to manifest, the heat waves are kind of distorting this the image ahead of you, and you kind of lose track of it. It all kind of blurs into a meaningless mess of craggy, ravines and stretches of wasteland. But finally, you make it. You make it there. It's almost as if a curtain has opened up. And the strange thing you notice is that the dome is kind of difficult to find. It's this massive dome rising out of the ground, just a bit, and you could totally climb up onto it. It's not like a giant, dome that's rising high out of the earth. But as you approach, there's one thing that really catches your eye, and that is that the stonework on the dome looks very different from the surrounding rocks and soil. So you would expect something laying, bare to the sun beating down for hundreds, if not thousands of years, it would be weathered. But the stonework comprising this thing, at least from the distance you guys are out, it looks relatively new. So it's almost as if this new structure has kind of broken its way through the earth itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. At first, I thought you were describing like a Hymenoptera type thing, like in the Mummy, where when the sun hits it just right, it appears for you. But so this got pushed up out of the ground.
That's kind of what it appears, yeah. But the strange thing is the stone doesn't look
fresh.
old. It looks pretty new, which is really bizarre to find what you thought was going to be a ruin, but it appears to be newer.
Be on your highest wits. Something is very unnatural about this place. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's sitting there silently. There's nobody around. You just hear kind of the morning breeze whistling through the rocks around you.
Take out my axes and kind of start how close are we? I want to walk around it and see if there's like any kind of entrance.
So you do remember, so yeah, you start to circle around it and there's no entrance that you can find. But you do remember that Radon mentioned, and if I didn't mention it, it's my fault, but he would have mentioned that there is an entrance at the very top. Some
He
kind
did.
of aperture of some kind that allows you to get down into the dome. So there's no front doors that you can find. You do see, Davor, you spot this with your ancient but eagle eyes. There's more symbols kind of around this thing.
Do I recognize the nature or the origin of the symbols? Anything about them that stands out? I might recognize that.
Yeah, why don't you roll me another wits check, and I'm going to give you a +1 to this because there appears to be similarities between the coin and this dome.
Okay.
Some kind of consistency with the script. Oh, you got a 12. And don't forget to roll your old flex die.
Yep. Want to get that?
I need like a soundboard with Arnold every time we roll
Yeah.
a flex die. It's like, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so you rolled
I
a
can't
2,
do that.
but you got a 12. So, maybe it's the broad daylight. Maybe it's putting 2 and 2 together, Davor. But something clicks in your mind, and it clicks that you were incorrect in your first your first thought about the Stygian origin of this coin, as well as the strange glyphs that are inscribed on the stone. You notice that these symbols are actually Acheronian of origin, and it is known to be the lost culture of debauched sorcerers. And so what you know in your readings that this could mean danger, but it also could mean great relics, treasure, value of some sort.
Gudrun, may I see the coin again, please?
Forgot my name was Gundren for a second. Yeah, I'll flip them the coin.
Hey,
Okay.
you've taken hits to the head before. I understand. He feels the coin again and like looks back at the symbols and he's like, "Yes, it's easy to be mistaken. Yes. All right." And then he will hand it back. It appears that these are actually Acrononian in nature instead of Stygian, like I originally thought. Easy mistake to make. But this means kind of lends credence to Radon's claims. There indeed may be great treasure inside, just waiting to be found. Not that I didn't believe him before, of course, but it's nice to have a little bit of something to back up our friend's claims.
Acro what?
Acheronian.
Acheronian.
And I don't know if Davor, you tell him, but you know, Davor, that this is a lost culture of debauched sorcerers. And these symbols, like I said, you will tell? Okay.
He absolutely will. Yeah, he
Okay.
can't. He is always looking for ways to explain something. Sorcerer explain.
Sorcerer's Plain.
To anybody who's willing to listen. So, and everybody's kind of like in a they're held captive, just being in close proximity on the camels. That he's like, oh yes, it's from this year, and this is the things that happened, and battles that were fought over this and that, and the whole way. I mean, if there's a camera focused on them, it's backing up it to just him just like talking and talking and talking as they approach.
I love it.
All right. Good.
Now you know. That's one of the reasons why I guess that you keep me around is for my insight and my brilliantly and well told stories.
But yeah, he mentions potential danger, but also potential treasure, relics, riches. So maybe Radon was correct.
Cocaine. Yeah, we got to get down in there.
Okay, it appears to be like an easy climb if you would just like to shimmy your way up.
Is there a place that looks safe enough for the camels that we leaving them out
Yeah,
here?
I mean, you could, I guess, hide them in, like a ravine or something, like area if you want. Like there's little, like I said, there's rocks everywhere and little outcroppings on the cliff sides and stuff. So yeah, you can leave them out here if you want.
Do that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, you secure your camels, and I guess you guys shimmy all the way to the top, and you do indeed see an aperture there. It looks to be easy to open. You can tell the mechanism. It looks as though it just slides off to the side.
Does it look heavy?
I mean, not undoable. Not, it looks doable basically. Yeah, it's a heavy stone kind of seal of sorts, but it looks like there's some kind of weird hinge work on the side that can like afford it to slide over.
Gundren?
So it's like a mechanism. So it's not like a sarcophagus with a a top or something like that.
I see.
Yeah, so it actually looks like it's supposed to open.
It's meant to open.
Yeah.
I would like to observe it in detail, if I may, with my I mean, I'm used to stealing things and breaking into things, and I'm used to making sure that those things are safe to steal or break into. So whatever the equivalent of, me just kind of making sure that it's not booby trapped in any kind of way.
You want to check for traps. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can roll in either a edge or wits if you want. It's up to you. I'm guessing you're going to say edge.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget to roll your flex.
So I'll roll the edge first, so it doesn't add the flex up with it. Ugh.
So 4.
Yeah.
So so you rolled a 9. Yeah. So you examine this closely. It appears as if yeah, you can definitely roll this thing off to the side and slid back into place easily. You don't detect any kind of booby traps or anything like that, which you find very strange. It also appears that there's a locking mechanism, but locked from the outside. So it's almost as if it's to keep people from getting out.
I was about to say, we need to close this back and lock it. Whatever's down here, it was meant to be down here. This is the strangest heist I've ever been a part of. We're not breaking in.
I have a thought. What if whatever treasure lies beneath, there is also a guardian, something that protects it, and perhaps whoever placed this guardian inside to guard the treasure did not want it to leave. By locking it in, the treasure is secure. The guardian stays watchful.
So then it must be 4 or 5 times more valuable. Let's go in. Let's do it. I just start climbing in.
Okay, you slide it over. You immediately see a depth of what you gauge to be about 20 feet. And the sun is shining down, so you see like this pillar of light. And as this cool ancient air wafts up at you, this light is landing on a circular structure at the bottom, like a stone circular structure. And it appears as if there are symbols on it as well, far at the floor of this dome. And but stranger still, you see that there are chains on it. So crossing the diameter, making a big X, as if it's to, keep a lid on, perhaps. And I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session, everybody.
Oh!
So we made it to the dome. Next week, we will see what happens. Maybe we can get Ducky to join and be a wandering thief or something. They'll run into him. But thank you guys for watching on the stream. Thanks for watching in the future if you're checking the VOD out. Let us know. Let me know what you think. How are you feeling about Conan? Are you excited for the game? Don't forget to check out the quick start rules. Just don't read the adventure unless you want to get spoiled, because we will see the rest of that play out, I think, next week. Yeah, I think we can knock this whole thing out in one more session. Thank you, Noel, for the amazing music. That is very Conan inspired. And thank you guys for playing. So with that said, we're going to call it a night. If you guys celebrate Thanksgiving out there, have a good one. Mm-hmm. And let me find the end stream button here.
Wait.
Yeah. What's up?
We have one more person we should thank.
Who?
Robert E. Howard.
Oh, of course. Robert E. Howard for creating the amazing character.
Yeah.
And also, Arnold for bringing it to the silver screen successfully in the 80s. Maybe I'm still hoping for that third King Conan movie, but you never know. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you again. Oh, who's here? Marco Polo. Maybe the real Conan was the friends we made along the way. There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a great night. We will see you next week, same time, to hopefully conclude the Seal of Acheron with Conan the Hyborian Age. See you later.